Hey everyone, it's Brian Porter. We're going to talk a little bit about some frequently asked questions that we get. This will be a video series that will break down into a couple questions per video, and then we'll move through some topics that we get emailed or asked about in person all the time in an attempt to just address a few of these things. Some of them are longer-winded answers, some of them are very quick answers. The two I'm going to talk about today, first one is, what is your lead time? So we get this question a lot. What is your lead time? How long will it take to get my pickup set? What is it, when I place the order, is it going to ship the next day? Is it going to ship the same day? We definitely live in a Amazon generation where everyone wants everything fast, and we do a good job of keeping coils in stock, keeping some popular models in stock. But if you've been to our website, you see a ton of options. You see a ton of cover options. You see a ton of models for each category. So we do our best to kind of stock a little bit of each of those to try to speed through the order process. But sometimes we'll have a big batch of dealer orders or a big batch of Guitar Builder orders that will clean out most of our stock, and then we're kind of replenishing that while we're building other orders. So it's kind of always this ebb and flow. There's never like a guaranteed amount of stock. But typically our delivery times, we quote on our website 10 to 14 business days, and we almost always beat that. Typically, it's about 2 weeks is the longest we've ever taken to ship an order. And most of the time, in those cases, if it's longer than that, it's not actually on us. It's usually a supplier delay or something else happened, some other fluke thing. Like this last couple of weeks, our winder machine was down, so we couldn't spin any coils for about a week and a half. But we had a ton of wound stuff that actually supplemented most of our orders before that. So we try to mitigate the lead times. We try to get stuff out as soon as we can. And I've seen some manufacturers or some people will have months and even up to a year-long lead times, and that's just simply not something that we want to do. It's not, we don't let that happen here. And some of that is investing in the process and spending tens of thousands of dollars in equipment to make sure that that doesn't happen. So that's our commitment to lead times. And again, we can't always nail it down exact, but typically if you order something, we either have it planned to be wound or it will go into our system to be wound within a couple days of your order. So another question we get quite often is, what makes your pickups different? Now, this is always a weird question for me because I don't really like talking about ourselves other than saying, our goal is to really make something that fits a need and fills a purpose as a pickup and as a wind, as a model. So really what does make us different is the fact that we do really care about the recipe. We care about all the ingredients. We care about, if we're going to put a description on the website, we want the pickup to accurately reflect that. We don't publish a lot of scientific information or charts or EQ graphs or anything like that. We use our ears. We use a lot of local player feedback. We spent a lot of time developing. We just recycled, I don't know how many pounds of copper from prototyping and from other types of things. We really put a lot behind the scenes. We don't really talk about all that goes into creating a Porter pickup model, but there's a lot that goes into it. We believe in good quality ingredients, good quality wine recipes. We even change wine recipes over time, saying, okay, well, we can make this one better. We can tweak this here and there. Some of those wine recipes are proprietary. They're very complex. There's 14, 15 different patterns in the Anthem PAF for an example. So it's not a just whatever happens to be wound that day. It's very consistent, but very inconsistent, if that makes sense at the same time. So we're trying to find that balance, and I think that's ultimately what makes us different. Is we spend that time, we work out that time to really kind of translate that. If we don't like the sound, it doesn't see the light of day. Or sometimes in the past, some models have seen the light of day, but they've been killed over time because we're not happy with the direction that they're going, or we found a better solution in a new model. So in the case of like our Hybrid Plus strap pickup, we used to have a variation called the Modern strap pickup, and the Hybrid Plus came out and it fit into a better need and a better category. So we got rid of the Modern strap. So some of you maybe had the Modern Strat, or maybe still have the Modern Strat, and the Hybrid Plus sort of replaced that. It kind of took it a little further towards the direction that we wanted to go with the tone. And so that's kind of an example of kind of what we do and what it takes to like survive the cut. So it's almost like you're trying out for the football team. You have to go through a rigid series of boot camp kind of things to make it into a model, to make it onto the website. So our most recent pickup, the PA, the passive aggressive humbucker, kind of went through that same process. We said, okay, well, we're going to fill something in this, like we have the overdrive and we have the clear models, but we kind of want to fill something even up higher into the higher gain applications, but we wanted to make it different. So we did something with that pickup set where we overwound the screw coil. So when you split it, it's a mismatched coil. And when you split it, it sounds a little bit better as a split if you want to do that. So it's not only addressing that, you know, upper higher gain kind of crowd, but it's also versatile, and it's also something that you can use for other styles based on that push-pull and splitting if you decide to wire it that way. So that's just a couple questions that we often get. If you have questions you'd like me to address, or like Marco or Ben or the other people here to address, we'd be happy to do that. We just want to do some quick hit videos letting you know some answers to those questions, because we definitely get them a lot, and we won't just point you to the video, but hopefully this helps. If you're curious about any of these things, that's just the answer to a couple questions that we often get. We'll be back with more of those in the future. Thanks guys for watching.